So welcome to Epiphany with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany, and this is my first podcast. Today I was thinking of how I wanted to start, and the first question that came to my mind is, what is the point? Why even try? And I've always come back to this question, always coming from one point to a full circle and ending up exactly where I started, right here. And I was like, okay, this is going to be the one. This is the first topic of discussion. So the greatest quest we will ever venture into is the journey inward. And that's how I personally feel about it, that every question that we ask ourselves will always lead us to a new answer about ourselves. And I think that the journey inward helps us understand our patterns of manifestations create a reality. I can't even say the word. Maybe that's not the word that needs to be said. Our created reality. So basically, how we think, how we feel, and how our body is moving in time and space is how we're shifting through different realities at every second of our lives. So understanding the patterns of thought we have and how our feelings are associated with those patterns of thought, and how those pockets of energy are held within our body is like the blueprint to your manifested reality. Did I say that right? So, the first question I feel like most of us ask is, who are we? What is my purpose? What is the point to all of this? And then, usually the answers you kind of start to find are kind of vague, like, I'm here to help people, I'm here to serve, I'm here for my family, I'm here for myself. But the more you ask, the more you start to receive. But the thing about asking questions is that you have to develop some space to ask yourself the questions rather than consistently asking other people. Because then everyone's perspective and everyone else's opinions are cluttering your mind, and you have all these conditions already filtered onto you, and so you're seeing the world, reality, through multiple lenses. And as you begin to quest inward, you're peeling back layers one after another until you get to the core of yourself. And the deeper you go, the more detailed your questions can be. And I'm at the question of, why do I even try? Because what's the point? What's the point of trying? And I told you, there's this point of my life that I come to, that I'll travel and go full circle, and then I'll reach the point and end up exactly where I started. And so I love this, and it's something I've gotten from one of my spiritual teachers, is that the point of trying, or the point of doing, is what you make it. You are literally creating the point. And there is a purpose, and it is what you decide to place the purpose, or rather, what you decide to place purpose on. And so what you focus on, you receive more of, or you're inspired to do. But you can only receive what you're asking for. So it's so important to begin your journey with questions, but the right questions. So what questions are you asking yourself? And that brings us back to what our self-talk is, our thoughts. What are we thinking about? And that is the importance of trying or doing. Trying is doing. I've been on this journey or this practice for like 2 years, 2.5 years, maybe 3 years, 3.5 years, some change. Time doesn't exist, it's all relative. And I feel as if I've been asking the right questions, but I've hit like this, this, I can say pattern, I would want to say a regression in my journey, and it's like, fuck, why am I even trying? Because I have expectations of myself that I should be doing X, Y, and Z, or maybe it would look different, or I wouldn't hold so much, you could say, doubt in myself, or like my abilities, and belief and faith in myself and God, or in source, or whatever you want to name your higher power. And also, I think there's a little of fear and doubt would probably go hand in hand in the unknown. So circling back into what I know, but it looks the same, but it feels different, and I'm just questioning why I'm here again. Back to this point of my creation. What else? Let's see. Kevin, are you here? No, not here. Okay. Let's see. The first question I ask myself is, who am I? Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? And the answers I received were a light worker, an angel, a deity, God, manifested energy in human form. And what was my purpose? To be unconditional love, to be light in a darkness, to bring positivity and help elevate the human consciousness. And what is the point? I make the point. That was a narrative I put in my life to help me find a purpose and to give myself purpose, to wake up every day with something to look forward to strive towards. And then as I continued my journey on, I realized that I am a drop in the ocean, the entire ocean in a single drop. I am a part of this blanket of existence and non-existence. I am the dark and I am the light. I am whole. I cannot be separate from one or the other. I am engulfed in this energy that people call God, Source, Krishna, and there's no separation. And I feel like a lot of spiritual and religious practices teach that in a different way, and it all has truth to it. And so I've been able to piece together different pockets of stories and see how they all are similar and all carry very, very, very close messages, thanks to Joseph Campbell. You should check him out. And Well, what is my purpose? It's what I choose it to be, but I feel I went to a 300-hour yoga teacher training, and we talk about external and internal locus of control, meaning that we get to choose. We have free will, but there is a divine path for each one of us. And so there is like this inspiration and desire to follow your passions, your dreams, and then there is your choice on whether or not you follow those desires, those little breadcrumbs of creation, or like inspiration, those breadcrumbs of inspiration. I love that. That's super cute. And with your freedom of choice, you can choose to be in the alignment of who you are, or you can choose to fall out of alignment and go into it is all for you, but maybe a path of greater resistance, which is brought on and also taught through Abraham Hicks. I love that. I love them. Shout out for helping me get here. And you'll feel it. You'll feel it. So that's what another thing that I've learned about is how our thoughts and also our feelings are so correlated. Everything is connected, and everything is always in harmony. Even the disharmony all serves a purpose. And so it's like, okay, slowing down enough to see everything as whole versus seeing things as separate, like you and I, or this and that, or up and down, the duality. I've been listening to a lot of people talk about duality and how there is no duality, and it's all just totality, all one. And so how do you fall out of alignment if there is no such thing as out of alignment, out of alignment, it's all one. And then how are you, what is it? I don't know, 12 minutes, 32 seconds. Need some water. My other question was, what is my purpose? I want to say I know I have a divine purpose, and I feel very divinely gifted, and I know that you are also very divinely gifted. I know that we all have like this insane purpose. Like, I think about the people and the things that I could not physically do, and how other people sacrifice their lives to fulfill that purpose, and it's all so beautiful. Like, you think about the people who take out our trash every day, who like literally that is their job, is picking up trash, and then the people, plumbers, and the people in sewers, they're literally in charge of detoxifying our waste. That like that energy of what we put in our body goes through these, it's just so crazy. And I think about it and I'm like, I could never do that. And it's like those people all play such a significant part of our collective co-creation, and it's so fucking magical because I don't know how they did. I don't know. Like, that's such an honorable job. You're literally cleaning up millions of people's karma. Choices. They're just choices after choices after choices. These people are like cleaning up, and just serving and making the world such a cleanly place. And I think that's really, really honorable. And I think about the people who do taxes. I don't know how to fucking do taxes at all. And that is so incredible. Like, good people, there's no good or bad, but like people that you can trust, who want to give you a fair advantage to possibly businesses that want to take advantage of your ignorance. So it's like there are people out there who are all light workers, who are all playing supportive, heroic roles. And that's all divine. I feel like everything is divine. Everything has a significant purpose, a very highly designed reason why. They're all called to different parts of the play that we all are playing together. Hi, baby. Am I doing good? You're just listening to me, aren't you?
In and out.
I feel like I'm rambling. Go. Yeah. Oh, so my purpose. What I feel like my purpose is to empower people and give people a choice. I think that choice is a very powerful thing, and sometimes I don't feel as everyone has the same opportunity to choose for themselves, or rather the choice is chosen for them. And I feel as if the choice comes from the question of who's making the choice? Is it me? Am I listening to other people? Am I listening to what people are telling me I should be doing? Should I be doing that? Are you listening to yourself? Those are the right questions. What thoughts are in my head? How can you choose to have thoughts that serve you? It's by slowing down enough to really observe and bring introspection, true self-awareness, and through self-observation that you can begin to observe your patterns of thought. And through your patterns of thought, little diamond, you're here for my philosophy talk. You'll be able to see what thoughts make you feel good versus what thoughts don't make you feel good. And that's why it's so important to get familiar with how you feel and your emotions. So certain thoughts that bring you anxiety, fear, grief, doubt, those all have a purpose. So not to push them away or to ignore them, but rather to process them in a healthy way. And it's not about letting a thought go, because if you push, what you resist persists, but more so recognizing the feeling when it comes up to the surface, bring some light and some love and understanding to why you're feeling like that, and then give yourself the time that you need, and also knowing that time is relative, that what takes me 2 days could also take you 2 weeks to process through, because of how our brains function. They all function different. We function differently. So giving yourself time to process these emotions, these thoughts, will help you navigate your reality better. So you're not reacting and you're not responding out of, you could say, a knee-jerk reaction, Abraham, but you're not reacting or responding in an emotional manner, which is just recreating that same, you could say, negativity or low vibrating pattern of creation. And that's literally how we recreate, we shift, and we transurf by receiving, because we're always receiving, and through our left, we're always receiving our reality, and we process it. So what we're taking in through our 5 senses, we're creating the world around us, and usually the world around us will bring thoughts, feelings to those thoughts, and then what we do with that emotion and those thoughts, we're recreating a reality. So our right is doing an action. So going full circle. Left, we receive based off of our five senses. We feel, we build energy, and then we recreate, we put that energy back into the world. And if you are unaware of what you're doing, then you're just recreating the same pattern of thought, emotion, and energy. And that's why we try. We try to do something beyond what we see, because what we are seeing has already passed. We're living in the past. This was a thought. This was once a thought, and now it's here. So we focus on what we like here in order to move forward. And using your emotions as a GPS or radar in order to shift into a more desired reality. And that's all I got today, folks.